Welcome back to Mornings on Main Street. There is so much to be said about small town theater, and there is one in Springfield that just kicked off their 45th season. I'm talking about the Robertson County Players. To tell us all about what you can see on stage there in Springfield, we have our Tennessee Traveler Tom Adkinson with us. Tom, good to see you again.
Hello again. Nice to see you.
Hello. Well, tell me about the Robertson County Players.
It is community theater, perhaps at its best. Or it's certainly a good example of how a small town can put on excellent productions. They've been at it for 45 years. Their first show was in 1978.
Wow.
And they do some very good stuff. Some of it a little bit bold on occasion, and always entertaining. Community theater oftentimes plays it safe, does things that are easy and light. Musicals are big, of course. Who wouldn't like to go see Annie Get Your Gun or Oklahoma or The Music Man? That'd be easy. And Robertson County Players do those shows, but they sometimes do some other stuff too.
Well, what makes them bold? What makes this group maybe a little more bold than other areas?
Well, I don't really know whether they're that much bolder than others, but I just know that they have a good track record. Very frankly, I wouldn't expect to go to a community theater to see To Kill a Mockingbird or The Diary of Anne Frank or The Miracle Worker. You know, those are solid shows, and make you think. Big River is obviously a fun musical, but the setting and the interplay between the characters really should make you pause and think sometimes. So they do solid shows, not just musicals and light stuff. However, and one interesting thing to me, until right now, they have never done a Shakespeare play. And
no.
They are doing a Midsummer Night's Dream. And that show was a panic.
What has taken them so long to put on a Shakespeare play? Why now?
Well, I gather from my friend Danny Atchley, who is producing this show, that it just kind of bubbles up one year to the next. What do we want to do, guys? And this year, there was a push to do something like this. But they're not doing a Midsummer Night's Dream normal. It has the same script, but it's not in Elizabethan English. It's in Southernese.
What? No kidding.
No kidding. And it's not set in ancient Athens. It's in Nashville. It's a couple of good twists on a classic.
And this actually just kicked off. So what, today's Tuesday. So this kicked off last weekend.
Correct. They have shows this weekend and some matinees following. RobertsonCountyPlayers.com, and I'll double check me. It might be RobertsonCountyPlayers.org. They're not hard to find online.
Well, tell me about, because in your article, you have that Robertson County is like approximately 75,000 people. You have to have some pretty extraordinary talent in any small town to bring a production to life. Yes. How do they do their auditions? I mean, is it people who have done this for, years, for decades? Do they have new talent each year?
They have a pretty big reservoir, my friend Danny actually says. And word of mouth spreads about what's going on, or somebody gets interested. Danny's wife, Nelda, right now is one of the leads in A Midsummer Night's Dream. Several years ago, she'd never done any theater. Her first introduction, which is redundant, her introduction to community theater was a walk-on part. Part of a group, walked on stage, never had a line. And now here, years later, she's a solid actress and doing lead roles. So it happens by osmosis, and it's organic. And people just show up.
Oh, I love it. Will you be heading out to see more than just, their first play that's on stage now? Will you be heading out to see several shows?
Well, they're spaced out.
Okay.
And the next production they have coming up is called The Play That Went Wrong, which is just an absolutely farcical comedy. And then the last show of this season, and I don't know the dates on it, but months from now, is a show called An Evening with Miss Lena and Mr. Patterson. And this is back into some serious stuff. Okay. Miss Lena was Miss Lena Bradford. She was born of people who had been emancipated from slavery. She was born in 1870. She became a teacher. She helped start the first school for blacks in Robertson County, which to me, amazingly, was all the way up to 1913. Wow. And that school grew over the course of time, became a high school, and it was in operation until 1970, when all of Robertson County became integrated. So that story is going to be accurate and informative and provocative, and I dare say very entertaining.
It sounds like it will be. Oh my gosh, a great season, 45th season for the Robertson County Players. Tom, thank you so much for sharing all of this information with us. Is there anything else that you want to highlight before you leave us?
The location where they perform. Very quickly, it is at the Innovation Academy, which is Robertson County's only magnet school. And it has a 650-seat theater. It had a $3 million renovation to the theaters, to the auditorium just 5 years ago. And it's a cool structure. It was built by the WPA, the Works Progress Administration, back in the Depression. And it is a landmark building and a really neat place to see a play.
Cannot wait to make a visit. I do want to say I did find the website. It is robertsoncountyplayers.org if you would like to know more about Robertson County Players. And then if you'd like more information, you can visit experiencerobertson.com. Thank you, Tom. We always appreciate everything you bring to us.
I'm happy to do it. Y'all keep traveling.